Subscribe to the Slanted Lens. Subscribe! Don't be an idiot. Push the button. Hi, this is JP Morgan, and today we're shooting at the U2 space for the first time. I am so excited to be here. You know, I've been looking forward to shooting here for some time, and today is finally the day. So let's get started and see what we can do. Hi, this is JP Morgan. Today on the Slanted Lens, we're going to take a look at grids. You know, if I could only have one light modifier, what would it be? It wouldn't be a grid. But if I had two light modifiers, the second one would definitely be a grid. I'd have an octadome and a grid. Because grids are very focused, they give you a wonderful pool of light, it's an easy way to control light. So we're going to show you a little neo-noir photograph here, guns and smoke and cars. So let's get started and see what we can do. We're going to shoot a film noir shot using grids on strobe heads, and we're going to mix that with a very similar light that gives a very similar look in the film industry called a source 4 light. I want to show how grids work and how you can light with them at the same time mixing them with tungsten light. Grids are a honeycomb metal insert that goes into the front of a reflector. Usually it's going to be a 7-inch reflector. They restrict the area of coverage for the strobe. I love them because they really give you a lot more control when you're working with light. Let's look at the area of coverage for different grid spots. At 6 feet from the wall with a 10-degree grid, you get about a 3-foot area of coverage. The light does not spill or fill the area outside of that area of coverage. This image was shot at 1/60th of a second and f6.3. That's going to be important to our comparison. As we get a larger grid, we get more exposure because it's allowing more light to pass through the grid. So at 6 feet from the wall with a 20-degree grid, we get about a 5-foot area of coverage. Let's move to the 30-degree grid. Again, we gained about 2/3 of a stop. We're opening the grid up, allowing more light to pass through. It's going to give us more exposure. Our area of coverage is about 6 feet now. Our last grid is the 40-degree grid. It's very wide and gains about 2/3 of a stop again. It covers about 8 feet and is bleeding into the shadow areas more than the other grids did. Grid light is directional and not soft. The spill in the shadow areas of the image increases as you go to larger grids. A 10-degree grid does not bleed into the shadows almost at all, but by the time you get to a 40-degree grid, it's bouncing some light into the shadow areas. The reason is that the grid openings become large enough that they allow the light to bounce off the sides of the reflector and bleed into the shadow areas. Grids are perfect for a film noir shot with a hard light and deeper shadow. Let's now take a look at our shot and see how we used our grids. Our set is very simple. It's a black curtain in the background and black plastic on the floor. We're going to put some water on the floor so it just looks like it just rained. We've got puddles everywhere. We're going to need a street light. Actually, we need 3 of them. We're going to build these ourselves, so here's a little DIY streetlight project for you. We took a 4-inch ABS pipe and stepped it down to a 2-inch ABS pipe using an ABS step-down collar. This will give our light some shape and not have it be just one straight line. To hold it in place, we bolted an ABS end cap to a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, then we just shove our streetlight onto that cap and it stays right in place. The carriage lights come with screws that simply tighten to the top of the pole, and there you go. For $60 each, we got 3 DIY streetlights. A couple of sandbags and it's great to go. We're going to use the Rosco hazer to fill the room with haze and create the mood. We set the hazer up and set the output to about 6 or 7 and then gave about 30-second bursts every few minutes. Once you get it balanced, it'll give you constant haze all day long on a gallon of fluid. We're going to add some smoke at times in the background with a vapor machine just to give the image a little bit of depth. That's going to look really cool, especially when it catches that blue light. I absolutely love this machine. Now for our light. I wanted a car in this shot, but at the last second it canceled on me. So now I'm going to have to create a car in the image with just a couple of lights. We took 2 Aries 650 lights, put them on a crossbar, and used this as our car lights. The bar and the stand were both wrapped with black fabric to hide them from view. For our street lights, we're going to use a source 4 light on a stand aimed straight down towards the floor. Source 4 lights are a very pinpoint light source. We're going to shape the light pattern coming off from our street light, and as it reflects into the smoke, it's going to look like that light's coming right off from our street light. Here's an image with just our tungsten lights on. You know, this isn't bad just on its own. We're going to set our white balance on tungsten, and then we're going to put full CTO, that's orange, on all of our strobes. Here's our first image with only the tungsten light on. We're now going to add a PhotoFlex FlexFlash in the background. I am not going to put any orange on this light. I want this to go blue and add some depth to that background. Our next light is a FlexFlash on camera right with a 20-degree grid spot. It's on a short stand shining on a dead guy. It's supposed to imitate the light coming off from the car. Now we will add our key light on her face. This is a FlexFlash 400 watt second light with a 10-degree grid. I'm going to have my assistant hand hold this light and keep it pointed right at her nose. This is the downside of using grids. When you get down to a 10-degree grid, the area of coverage is very small. So someone's got to babysit that light. They've got to make sure that it's always on your subject, because if they move very much, you lose them and your light's not doing any good. So I usually have an assistant handhold this light and just work side to side with the person. We're now going to add a fill light from the front. We added a Dynalite strobe head with ND to get it dark enough and shut it through full diffusion. It's just a simple fill light, but you can see that it opens his face up just a little bit and certainly opens up her shoulder. Our last light is a rim light from camera left. It has a 20-degree grid and will rim her hair and cover his face. We can pan this right or left to increase or decrease the light on his face. The nice thing about grids is that they are very soft on the outside edges of the area of coverage. So when you pan it over a little bit, it can become a little harsher on her back, but a little softer on his face. So this one light, one grid kind of becomes two different lights with two different light qualities. It's a really nice look. So there's our lighting set. Here's some of the images before any retouching. Let's take a look at some of these and see what we've got. There's some fun stuff here. Here are 4 retouched images from our shoot. Now the real test of a good film noir image is how does it look in black and white. So I took the 4 final images into Silver Effects and Nik software and converted them into black and white. Here's what we got. The secret to good black and white is contrast. You want to put dark areas against light areas. We really worked to do that with the smoke and the backlight, and I think we got some great images. As much as I love the look of these in black and white, I still have a desire for a little bit of color. So I went back to our color images and took them into Nik software into their Color Effects 4. I did a bleach bypass look at those, so it just took some of the color out of them, added a little bit of tonal contrast. It's just kind of this sense of old and new, kind of vintage, but a little bit of color. I really love the look. This was a lot of fun. Great look, great images, very simple set, but a lot of work. I hope this lesson has been very beneficial to you and you've learned some things about grids. They really are very applicable on set. You can go from a very narrow area coverage to a larger area coverage. The thing that I learned the most about this, and the thing that I enjoy the most about grids, is that soft edge of a grid has a very soft transition. I actually like it. Hard in the middle, soft on the edges. Something you can apply in your next shoot. So keep those cameras rolling, keep on clicking. This is my favorite smoke machine of all time, made by Rosco. It's a V-Hazer. We're giving away one in January, so go to theslanted.com. Absolutely do not miss out on this. Go to theslanted.com. A V-Hazer, man.